Welcome back, explorers. My name is Explorer Packer and welcome back to another Pokémon video. In today's video I'll be creating Pokémon based off the characters from the anime Demon Slayer. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, for my first Pokémon, I'll be basing it off the character and protagonist, Tanjiro Kamado. Tanjiro has a green and black checkered coat and a burn on his forehead as notable features, as well as carrying his little sister around in a box on his back so she doesn't get burned by the sunlight. There is an insect called the bagworm moth caterpillar that builds its cocoon out of materials in its environment such as sticks. What if I combine this animal with an undertaker so it's carrying around a coffin on its back, and inside it will be the Pokemon I'll base off his little sister Nezuko. It's going to need to be a pretty big bug type Pokemon in order to carry around a coffin. So I'll start with its 5 body segments with a 6th one heading up as a neck to support its head. I'll give it a hood and a cloak made of leaves that will sit under the coffin made of logs. The cloak will have square holes in it to look like Tanjiro's cloak. Its 6 legs will be scythe-like and burr marks are placed throughout its body. Now, introducing Tandertaker, the Undertaker Pokemon from Tanjiro and Undertaker, a bug dark type Pokemon with the abilities Overcoat and Friend Guard. Despite its ominous appearance, Tandertakers are very caring Pokemon. They appear when a Pokemon is near passing on to the afterlife and will stick around to comfort the Pokemon in need. They will also fend off any Pokemon trying to attack the one under their care. They carry around a Vesperuco in their coffin as they have a symbiotic relationship. I don't think this Pokemon looks legendary or mythical, but if Game Freak were to create a Pokemon with such a serious theme, they probably would make it a legendary or mythical. Now, onto my second Pokemon. I'll base it off of Tanjiro's little sister Nezuko. At the start of the show, we see the whole of Tanjiro's family dead. Well, all but one, and that was Nezuko. However, she was turned into a demon. A notable ability she acquired was being able to control her mass, so she can grow big and strong for combat, but also she can shrink down to hide in the box that Tanjiro carries around so she doesn't burn to death in the sunlight. Nezuko wears what appears to be a pink kimono and has long black hair with orange tips. Demons are quite close to vampires weakness wise, and pufferfish can change their size. Let's create a hybrid between a bat and a pufferfish. I'll give it a round head and body with stubby arms, big ears, eyes and pufferfish teeth, as well as spikes will be added throughout its body. I'll give it wings made out of Nezuko's hair and finally colour it pink, orange and black. Now introducing Vesperuco, the puffer bat Pokemon. From Vesper, meaning evening in Latin, and Nezuko, a ghost flying type with the abilities Flame Body, Tangling Hair, and new ability Expand, which raises defense and special defense when inflicted with a status condition. Vesperuco are neither alive nor dead. It likes going on adventures, but sensitivity towards the light causes this to be quite difficult. It enjoys doing battle with any Pokemon it comes across to protect its friends. That is why it's thought as the perfect partner for Tandertaker. I really like this design. It feels like it could have been introduced between Generation 2 and 4 by Game Freak. Now onto my third Pokemon, who will be based on the travel companion called Inosuke. Inosuke is a fierce warrior who walks around shirtless with a boar's head on the top of his head. When his face is revealed, it is realised that he has quite a feminine face. His hair colour is dark with blue ends. So I'm going to create a Pokemon that disguises itself as a more powerful Pokemon so it doesn't get attacked. I'll start with a giant boar head disguise and place a bipedal piglet underneath, so the boar looks like a giant hairstyle. A giant wispy tail will be added to the hairstyle with a corkscrew at the end to resemble that of a pig's tail. I'll place normal strands of hair below the boar head and will be shaped to have hooves. And finally, a friendly expression will be added to the piglet. Now, introducing Hildenos, the hairstyle Pokemon from Hildisvini, the boar that fights alongside the Norse god Frasier, and Inosuke, a ground fairy type with the abilities Intimidate and Tangling Hair. Hildenos meticulously style their hair to look big and scary in order to avoid unnecessary battles. They use a mixture of mud and berries to dye its hair. This Pokemon is quite unique. I might evolve it in the future. What do you think about your Pokemon, Inosuke? I hope that means you like it. Strange fella. Now, onto my fourth and final Pokemon. I'll be basing it off the character called Zenitsu. Zenitsu is quite an annoying character to me, being both a coward and desperate for female attention. He does, however, have a cool design, as well as a split personality, where he turns into the ultimate lightning warrior when the danger is high enough. I think the best animal to represent Zenitsu is the honeybee, as it is quite harmless, but can be annoying when you hear it buzzing in your ear about how scared it is episode after episode. Plus, it really uses its sting like Zenitsu's switching personalities. His appearance consists of layers of blocky hair and a jacket that both transition from yellow to orange. So I'll start with a roughly round head with antennae and some tufts of hair along its jawline. Its eyes have triangles from Zenitsu's jacket and have the expression of a serious Pokemon. Onto its body, I gave it layers upon layers of squared off hair with alternating colours. Its arms are lanky and hairy, and I added a Cortana instead of a stinger. And finally, its last wings with very faint patterns on them. Now, introducing Zapnitsu, the Electro Vesp Pokemon. From Zap and Zenitsu, a bug electric type with the abilities Static, Swarm, and new ability Charge Switch, which swaps its defense and speed for attack and special attack every turn. Zapnitsu are nomadic in nature and travel in small hives under 30 members. They wander in search for a place to live and defend such as Beedrill and Combi nests. Once a suitable nest is found, they become aggressors when anything foreign comes near the hive. Despite my dislike for Zenitsu, I like how his design turned out, and if you like how my design turned out, please like, subscribe and comment, as it helps me out a lot. Farewell for now. What do you mean you didn't like your design?
Ew.
What does that even mean? Just speak English, femboy eye candy. Wait a minute, how is there three of you?